Brace height. What is it? How is it? Why is it? And what if? Good morning everybody. Today we talk quickly about brace height. The basics, quite simple. When you string your bow, the string is on. The difference between the handle and the string is called the brace height. So now you need to know that every bow has a certain brace height, and mostly your bow builder, if it's a good one, will tell you what the brace height for the specific bow is. As you see, this is the Twin Hero from Bearpaw. When you check on their website, they will tell you the brace height is 8 inches. It's always kind of a window, so it can be 7¾ to 8¼ inches or something. So we talk about this maybe later. So, but how do I measure the brace height? Usually I always do it like this and like this, and then I know this is 7½ inches because it's me. So first of all, what you need to know is how to measure the brace height. When you have one of these recurve takedown bows with a profiled pistol grip, then you take the deepest part of the grip, take one of these measuring thingies if you have one, go to the deepest part and go back in the right angle until you see on a string what it shows. And here last time I did it in 7½ inches and it's still not enough, so the brace height here is not correct. What can be an issue with an incorrect brace height? That the bow is, like in this case, way too loud because it's still not braced right. If you have one of the reflex bows, like this one, not like this one in specific, but the reflex bow, and the brace height is, so the string is way too long, so the brace height is way too narrow, it can happen that your string comes off while you shoot because the limbs bend way too much forward and backward, too much movement, so the string can come off. So the proper brace height is very important. How do you measure brace height on a reflex bow? You simply take the deepest part here, or you take the part where the arrow is, then you go up and then you see your brace height. It's a little tricky with all these handles, but usually it's not a big thing. Here you have another one of these ones. Deepest part of the handle, right angle to the string. Here you have 6¾ I don't know what the brace height is of this one now. Even if you have a Japanese bow, you go where usually your arrow lays on the handle, and you go back, right angle, and you see 7 inches. So why is it important? Every bow is built for a certain brace height. And when you're not in this brace height, then you can harm the bow. I said when the string is too long, means the brace height is too low, the string can come off. And what you might already figured out, like with the English longbows, they have a very short brace height. The string will always slap you here. So that's why for all these English short brace height bows, you will need one of these arm guards. Like our beloved snake bows, they have 8, they don't care, 8½ inches. I don't mind, this bow is very forgiving. Nothing will happen here because the brace height is 8 inches. Brace heights of 6½ inches can cause problems on your arms no matter how you hold the bow, so be aware of that. You get your bow, you string your bow, and you know the brace height should be whatever, 8 inches. This has of course 8 inches. How can you adjust the brace height? You can adjust it in a small narrow band. So if now your brace height is too long, let's say this is now 8½ inches and you need 8 inches, then I put the string off and I untwist the string. You will see that in one direction, when you rotate the string, it will unravel, and in the other direction it will twist up. When you twist it, then you see that the strands get twisted, and the more they get twisted, the shorter the string gets. When you turn the other way, the string gets unraveled and you see the single strands coming out, the longer the string gets. So the longer the string is, the shorter the brace height. So if I know now, okay, my brace height is not there, my brace height is now too low, I simply come here, put the string off, twist it a few times, that the string gets shorter, put it on again, and check my brace height again. So of course you can do it with this one here. So now we have exactly 8 inches. Let's say I want to have 8½ inches. And then put it off. And I twist it, twist it, twist it a few times. Whoops. Now we almost probably at 8¼ Oh, look, 8½ inches. Now I would be at 8½, which is a little too much for this bow. It was only for demonstration purpose. So what effect does it have when you make the brace height higher? Of course, the bow gets a little stronger, so to say, because you already bend the bow more. So when the brace height is lower, the bow is not that much bent, so you have in this braced position already a certain draw weight. When you shorten the string is further away, the bow is more bent. From the beginning of draw you have already more draw weight, so you could think now, hey, I simply shorten my string and I get a stronger bow. I have now my bow. The brace height is 7¾ almost 8 inches, as it's supposed to be. I put it here on my tiller stock and I made a mark here for the string. So you see the string ends directly where the tape is. So now I draw the bow 28 inches because this is the max draw of the bow. Fine. So now, now I overdo it a bit for demonstration purpose. And when you twist the string too much, it becomes too stiff, so don't do it. It's really only to adjust ½ inch plus or minus, but not to shorten the string 2 or 3 inches. When this is the case, get a new string. So I shorten it now a lot. Look at this brace height now. Now we have 10½ inches. So I shortened the string that the brace height was raising now 2½ inches. So now you look here. You see, now the string is here. The bow is now more bent. So if I draw now 28 inches, but you lose power because you still draw 28 inches, but your draw is effectively 2½ inches shorter of power. So the arrow has less way. My 28-inch draw is still the same, right? Look at this. So now I give the arrow the power and it goes up to here. See? Until here. Here the arrow is kicked off by the bow. When I have my brace height back, I put my brace height back now to 8 inches or something. This, let's see what we have. 8¼ but it's only 4, you know. So then we are here again, see where my tapey is. And now, of course, the 28-inch draw is the same. Here, all the same. But when I let go now, the string comes way more forward, these 2 inches here, and has more time to accelerate the arrow. So I get more out of the bow when I have a lower brace height. And I have more stability in the arrow flight because I have more time to accelerate the arrow. When I have the brace height more back, the acceleration time of the arrow is shorter, or the length for the acceleration is shorter, which decreases the energy of the arrow. So now a quick speed comparison, because does the brace height have an impact? I guess so, but let's see if it has an impact on the speed. I use a snake bar now for this purpose because this bow will not break when I overdo it. We are at almost 8 inches, 7¾ and whatever, how many it is, so almost 8 inches. It's the lowest I could go with this bow. I shoot now a few arrows. We see what speed we get, and then I put the brace height maybe 2 inches more, and then we see if there is a difference. And I shoot simply Mediterranean, not a speed how fast you can shoot it, simply to see 103, 99, 98, 100, 98, 101, 100, 102, so 104. Now I twist the string in as brutally as I can until it really gets almost stiff. Now you can feel it, now it's already tensing up. And then it really shortens quite a bit. So now it's tensing up. Let's see where we are. Now we are at 10.5 inches. So we have now 2.5 inches more brace height, but my draw length is still the same. So let's see if this does now something to the arrows. The arrow is now 2.5 inches less in contact, because before the brace height, the string was here, and now it's there, so the arrow is shot earlier, which theoretically should give the arrow less energy if we have not different speed. That's the only thing. 91, 92, 99, 89, you see a pattern, 93, stay, 92, 92, didn't measure much probably, 100, yes, of course, didn't measure, we do it again. Same shooting as before, 95, 100, 96, 89, 96, 95, 94, 94, 95. So you see, this is now not a very strong bow, but even here we have already a speed difference of, let's say, roughly 4 or 5 foot per second, only because we overdid it with the brace height. So keep this in mind when you think about adjusting the brace height to an unnormal value, because you think you get something out of it. You don't. So this is one thing to consider. Don't overdo it with your brace height. That's always stick in the brace height recommendation of the bow builder. The other thing you could do now, just when you have one of these cheap bows, so don't do it with expensive bows and don't do it with high poundage bows, but when you have a 20-25 pound bow and your string is really too long, what you can do is tie a knot here at the end and tie a knot on the other end in the string. Then you shorten the string quite a bit, string your bow again, and you have a complete new brace set. Then you have here a small knot and here a small knot. Not recommended for high draw weights, and I would not do it with an expensive bow because the string can get damaged in this part of the knot. So the strands are twisted and tucked together so they can break there. That's why only for low poundages. And one other thing where the brace head comes into play is the design of the bow. Look at these two. These are both, there's a flat bow and a long bow from Fgura Day. And when you see, they have roughly the same brace height, right? So they should perform the same, but when you look there, then you see that the arrow pass, the width here of the bow is way more narrow than here. And that has an effect of how you can shoot this bow. I showed this already once in a video, because we never shoot through the center of these bows. They're always slightly angled, so I put the arrow on, oops, and then you see the arrow points in a slight angle away. See that? But the angle is still narrow because we have a narrow arrow pass. If I do the same on this bow with a wider shelf or wider arrow pass, then you see the arrow angles way more off center. So when I draw this bow, the angle is way more off center, the bow, and with this one, because it's closer to the center. So this one is then a little easier to perform, easier to get the hang of it. The shorter the brace height, the more impact does this width have here. I have here a brace height of check quickly. 7 inches, just fine. And you see the angle of the arrow, right? So if the brace height would be now 8 inches, or let's say 10 inches, then you see the arrow becomes more, points more towards the center of the bow. Now we are at 7 inches again. And now I push forward to 5 inches. And you see what the arrow is doing, it points completely away. So the closer the string to the bow, the more the arrow angles away. The further away, the more the arrow is in line with the bow. Hope you get the point. Which of course does not apply with these modern bows, modern recurve, takedown, whatever, name it. These are center shot bows. The other brace height does not affect the center shot capability. You should always this bow through the center. So that's why they are so easy peasy to shoot. As I mentioned here with this bow last time, I show you now the Twin Hero, which is loud. I shoot it now, simply listen to the sound. Heard that? Because it's only 7.5 inches. Now what we do is, we make the string a little shorter. Now we are at, not there yet, a little bit more. And of course, as I said last time, these bows always use a stringer, because these limbs are very fragile, very delicate. You can twist them and damage a bow. So now we are at 8.25, so it's a little too much. Now let's listen to the sound difference. Heard the difference? Way less noisy and directly way better to shoot. So it's crucial that you get the information of your bow builder, what is the brace height, and then adjust the string accordingly. What you need to be aware of, the difference of these Flemish splice strings. They are not like this ones. They have a wrapping around at the end, around the ears. They don't stretch that much. When you get a bow like this, with this open strands here, these strings will stretch in the beginning. So you need to put the string on, shoot the bow 20, 30, 40 times, and you will see after you shoot a few times, the brace height will come down, come down, come down. You shoot as long as it takes until the brace height doesn't come down anymore. That means the string stretched fully. Then adjust the brace height to the recommendation of the bow company. In this case it's 8. But I said it's 7.75 to 8.25. It's always a window. Some bow builders have a bigger gap, some don't give you a gap, but it's still, you can vary it a bit. So you can fine tune your bow, so to say. Adjust it then, and then it's fine. And then you even can set your knocking point. Everything before makes no sense. Now this bow is now way more silent and way more fun to shoot. Listen again. Way better. 1/2 inch more brace height makes a difference out of this bow. Unbelievable. Unfortunately, many bow builders still don't give you the brace height, especially the big ones in China. And when you ask them, then they tell you, but they should put it on the website that you know, even if it's for every bow the same, which I don't think it is. Ask your company where you get the bow from, what is the recommended brace height. And usually these strings for the reflex bows with the loops are exactly made for this bow. So usually these strings have the exact brace height what the bow company wants it to have. So usually you can trust the length of the string, but it's always better when they tell you, listen, my brace height should be 6.5 inches. And then you check it, and it's 6.5, be happy. If it would be a little less, you could twist the string a bit. But please, with reflex bows, don't twist the string too much, because some bows are in this direction quite wiggly, and when you twist them too much, then you get a torque motion into the bow because the string wants to unravel again, obviously, because of this. And then some bows are very fragile with their shears, and then they react to this, and then when you draw, it can happen that the bow will snap. So don't overdo it when you have a bow like this. A few twists plus minus is fine, but don't overdo it with bows like this. A string like this one, you can twist many times, but you will feel when you twist it too much, then the string gets stiff. This is what you don't want to have. So even with these bows, don't overdo it. And luckily, when you get one of these longbows from Fgura, they have the bottom part open, and you make your own knot according to the length of your bow, because these bows are handmade, not all the same length. That's why on these bows you have on the top a loop, the bottom is open. You need to know how the bowyer's knot looks like, make a bowyer's knot at the right length, and you're good to go. And here I have 7 and a little bit. Now it's 7 inches. I hope I covered everything I wanted to cover. This is simply just that you get an idea what brace height means. Of course, there's more to be included, but I think for a beginner that you know now, okay, I have a bow. I was not even aware of that the brace height exists, that I need to check the brace height when the string is way too low. The bow is not shooter when the string is way too far off. You can break your bow, and then you know your bow is properly set up, and then go and have fun with it. Like I have every and a group directly. Crabby bow. And have fun shooting. And a little tip at the end, when you see me unstringing bows, I usually do it like, not the step through method, but what do I do with the string? I don't put it off, I leave it on the limb. Why do I do that? Because then the string does not untwist by itself when I put it off. Of course, when you take down your takedown bow, the string comes off, will untwist maybe when you don't secure it. So, or you put it down, roll it up, secure it that it doesn't untwist. When you simply throw the string now in your bag, it will untwist. In this case, when the string is still on the limb, I put it there, and it's exactly in the same brace head again as I left it before. When you put the string off and on again, and you want to check quickly then what is your brace height doing, and you don't have one of these checker devices, or you don't want to always take it with you, that you know, okay, I'm now exactly at 8 inches, what you can do. Because when you go shooting, most probably you will always have an arrow with you. Put an arrow on, and then you see when the brace height is correct, where the arrow should hit the bow window. And now I see when I have in 8 inches, it's directly here between the green and the yellow part of this tape. And then I know the brace height is right. If the string would come off and the string unravels, the string is longer and the brace height gets shorter, then my arrow looks like this, and I know, oh, wait a second, something is wrong. Or if when I string the bow and the arrow looks like this, then I know again something is wrong. I only need one arrow with a tape on it. So I simply know when I string this bow, put one of my arrows on it. When I'm here in the first yellow circle, I'm good to go. Quick and easy, so you don't need to always have your checker with you. If you have any questions about now brace height and how to adjust, simply leave me a comment or the question down in the comment box. I really thank you all for watching, and thank you all for liking my videos, for commenting so much. Even the thumbs down, if you feel like, give thumbs down, like the last video about the target panic. Directly 7 people didn't like. Thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for sharing, thank you very much for liking, and I catch you in the next one.